I just thought I'd show you some things I've been doing in the garden. I bought this thing to put my fairy garden in, and I'm going to get another one because there's another one with a beehive and that. Yeah, Russ wouldn't buy it for me, boo-hoo. And here's my painting station, so I've been painting some more, but I only have a little paint left. Just tried to paint the little bird thing. But anyway, I'll show you what other ones I've done. This little one. Paint spot. This one. That's a brick. I just painted the brick. I don't know if you saw that one. But a little pond. And this swirly whirly one. So these are the ones that I've done at the moment. I like that one. And got a swinglet for the dolls for my videos. And these are waiting. This one I think is going to be a hedgehog. Just finished these. These are waiting to be varnished. This one went a bit wrong. The white paint is the hardest to get down through the pen. So these are the pens I've been using. And you press down on the end to get the paint to come out. They are really good. And there's a tub of more stones. This was a broken seesaw that I had in the garden. So there we go. That's what I've been doing. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and a Chat. Yes, I am getting coffee. I got my coffee. I was actually going to stay outside. You see, I've got this lovely shawl that I had crocheted for me by Lorraine. Sorry, I just found a spot on a kitchen cabinet. I need to clean it. Oh, come on, get off. I think it's a bit of gravy from last night. It is Saturday morning here in the southwest of England. And look, I even made my coffee in my keep warm up mug because I thought I was going outside. So weather report, it was beautiful. So when I first got up, it was beautiful, sun shining. Russ is out here working on his tractor. And I thought, I'll have a shower and that, and I'll sit out and I'll paint me rocks. Actually, doesn't feel too bad out this back bit, but I don't really know if I want to risk it. Definitely don't want to risk getting a cold or anything like that in the situation at the moment, do we? Are you staying out there or are you coming in? No, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to Millie. Are you staying out there or are you coming in? You stay out there with Dad then. Hey. So I'm going to sit down here. I'll turn you around so you can see what I'm going to do. So one of the things that I've been doing to keep myself company, because I have chronic illness, I'm basically used to being at home. But what I'm not used to is someone telling me I can't even go out anywhere, or the fear of not wanting to go out anywhere. So I've been doing some things to keep me company. Been making these with Frankie because May is fibre. Oh God, I got a bit of paint there. Fibre. If you're going to do any painting, always don't do what I do. Just put something down to protect your furniture. Anyway, yeah. May is Fibromyalgia Awareness Month and Lupus Awareness Month, and they both have the symbol as a butterfly. A purple, the colour is purple of a butterfly. So I have been doing these little cheap things with Frankie. That was the first trial. We made some errors on that because I'm using these to paint This one wasn't quite so bad. But they're not really that good because they do dry. They dry on this acrylic quite quickly. And these pens dry on this plastic here quite quickly. And so they haven't come out that well. But I have been doing lots of stones and pebbles and putting them out when I've been going out on my walks. So this one is dry now. But I can't go to the beach and get any smooth pebbles, obviously, because I can't go anywhere. So I've been painting virtually anything that I find. So I've got a reflection on that one. There we go. Just keep swimming. Might even put that one in my fairy garden. And then I've done this cute little one for my eldest daughter. So I paint them with acrylic paints. And then I seal them so they can go outside with acrylic gloss. That's acrylic gloss in there. And this is one that I just did yesterday while I sat inside. This one's not perfect because the pebble isn't very smooth. So when the marker is going on it, it's like making all these little marks, but I don't care. Here's another one that I'm working on. It's a big stone, so that would go up against something. But, and I do have some more flat ones. Oh yeah, I have this one. This one didn't turn out very well. They haven't been glossed yet. That one stands up. And I'm no artist, as you can see. It's just all for a bit of fun. And I've got Oliver next to me in the pram. That one needs glossing, that one doesn't. Keep them separate, ones that need glossing because I've got to do those. And then I bought Frankie some new bits. Got a few things there. And there's some more little acrylic paints in there, little packs. Because they do go quite far because you can like water them down. So that, you know, that's basically what they do when they do Reborn painting as well. They water them down so they get them really thin. And I got this one for Frankie. So Frankie's got one of those to do and this unicorn, one of those left to do, and a unicorn one. There. So how are you guys anyway? Oh, hang on, I'm just going to take my teeth out a minute. Not literally my teeth, but my aligners. I can't go to the dentist at the moment. And I do have a vision aligners. Invisalign, they're called. So at the moment, they're literally I've just got them moulded to my teeth. So they're just keeping them in the position that they finished at. I can't go to the dentist, have any more work done. And we thought we'd come to the end of the Invisalign, and then this happened, and they've started to like separate. So like I've got a gap now between my front teeth, which I didn't have before. So now I've got some and they're just literally the same, moulded the same as my teeth. Luckily we managed to be able to do that before the dentist had to lock down. And so that's what I now have to do every day, is put them in. But they discolour really, really quickly, especially if you're a coffee or a tea drinker or a Ribena or anything that's got a dark Coke, Coca-Cola, anything that's got like Pepsi, anything that's got like a darkness to it. So you have to take them out, and you have to take them out while you eat because they're only like little like plasticky things. And you can buy tablets, like sterilising tablets, they're almost like, to clean them, but I don't find they clean as well as putting them in bicarbonate of soda. That's what I do, I put them in bicarb. And to try and keep them clean, because who knows when this lockdown's going to finish. Going to start to ease up, and people are already talking about it over here. And near me, in an area near me, they had a big a crowd demonstration against lockdown. Yes, yeah, I think it's May 2nd today. Yeah, a big in Glastonbury, they had, and this is by the opposition government party, one of his brothers set this up. No, actually, let me take that back. That's what I've heard, he set it up, but he was allegedly set it up. Let me just take that back because I don't know for sure. He was there, and he was there anyway. And a protest against the lockdown on the 1st of May. That's what was organised. And I mean, how ridiculous. And I know people are like, oh, well, it's freedom. We should be able to do what we want. The thing is, yes, we should, but we have an effect on other people. And I just want to tell you this. You all know, if you've watched my videos for a long time, you'll know that I go and see my family friend, Sheena, and her husband, John, about 4 times a year. Me and Sheena always go to the doll shows. We have such a laugh, and me and Sheena talk nearly every day. Well, John is over 80, her husband, and he doesn't now, he hardly leaves the home. So he hasn't left the home for ages and ages. Sheena has had to leave the home recently because her mum was in a hospice. So Sheena left the home, went to visit her mum in the hospice, and came home. They also had like home shopping deliveries. And John ended up, Sheena's mum died in hospital last week, in the hospice last week. So Sheena's been with her dad. And John got COVID-19. Bearing in mind, he's not been anywhere. He got COVID-19 and he was in hospital. Sheena has been tested. Sheena was diagnosed with a chest infection. John, when he went into hospital, he had a really high temperature. He was very weak. He was really poorly in the house. And Sheena's friend, who lives up there, because I live like 300 miles away, Sheena's friend who lives near her, went to help Sheena, went to help her clean up and everything, because John had got in a bit of a state. And so John tested positive for COVID. They said he only had a mild bit of it, which was great, which we were really pleased about. And they sent him home. They sent him home and he collapsed on the floor at home. He got readmitted. So John is there with COVID-19 again. And in fact, they made a mistake and they shouldn't have released him from hospital. Then yesterday, middle of the night yesterday, I had a text, which I didn't see, from Sheena that she was in hospital. And she has now been tested positive for COVID-19. So both Sheena and John are in hospital with COVID-19, separated. Nobody can visit them. Nobody can see them. Sheena's mum died last week. Sue, who I spoke to yesterday, Sheena's other good friend up there. Sheena's like, they went to school together, like lifelong friends. She had been in the house to help clean up, and now she is poorly and she's been told to isolate. Sheena's dad is poorly, and last I heard he was having the doctors out, but I'm sure he'll be told to isolate now. John's son will be told to isolate. And all those people around them, people at the hospice, how quick this is spreading, how quick it spreads, even though, the results are that we're over the peak here in the UK. But if we start letting things slide, then we're going to have another peak. And today they've released a statement saying that they've seen different symptoms of COVID-19 coming out in children. So that's now a worry as well, because people were hoping that the schools would go back first. I think, you know, what I think about is if you could walk outside and see it all over the place and see what people have it, who are just carrying it, who have no symptoms as well, you just wouldn't go outside, would you? I don't know. My daughter, who is a nurse, has been poorly. So I'm going to see how she is today. I'm waiting for her to actually message her this morning to see how she is, because they work as a small team close together. And it is just terrifying how easily this spreads from people. The most important thing is to wash your hands, because even, I know if you're wearing a face mask and that, but you're still going to touch your face when you're taking the mask off. Everybody touches their mouth, their eyes. People just don't realise how much they touch. And a visor is actually probably much better, because that stops you from touching your eyes as well. And my hay fever has been really bad, which is why my eyes are really baggy, and I have really been touching my eyes. We've had rain here, and I think it's brought something with it. You know, it's picked up some pollen or something that's really irritated my eyes. So I don't know, it's really difficult, because Russ is still working, because he has to, you know, what he does with his business. And so he is making sure he's like washing his hands and that when he comes home, and washing his face. He washes his face, he washes his hands, not just his hands, he washes right up to his elbows. He wears short sleeve shirts to work. And changing his clothes, because you never know who he's going to be meeting up with. And, you know, and there are certain jobs where they can't be 2 meters apart. There is like, you know, there are certain things they can't be 2 meters apart. So just be careful, folks. Be careful. I don't want to scaremonger anybody. Just be careful. Washing your hands is probably the thing to do. Anyway, so what are you getting up to? Ooh, excuse me. Ooh. I took my sleeping tablet quite late last night, and it's had a drowsy effect on me this morning. But as for staying at home, you know, I stay at home anyway, and I learned over the years to entertain myself and try to find something to do every day, something positive. Yeah, I mean, we've been lucky that we've had the weather that we've had here, of all the children at home. I mean, the weather has been amazing. This last week it's been rainy. It's been rainy in the mornings, dry in the afternoons. Like, it is cold out there now, but if you can stay out of the wind, like when I just went out the back then, if you stay out of the wind, it's not too bad. It's gloriously sunny this morning. Now it's overcast, so that's not good. And then next week, yeah, it's Saturday today, isn't it? Next weekend we have a bank holiday weekend, because normally on the 1st of May, the Monday after the 1st of May, we would have a bank holiday weekend for May Day. Well, it got moved this year to the Friday to coincide with VE Day, and so that makes it a 3-day weekend next weekend. So that will be a trying time, because if the weather's good, people will want to get out and meet up with people and drive to like beauty spots and things like that. But like, we're not allowed to do that, you know. You can go for a walk, but from your home. I mean, Millie hasn't come out in the van with me for weeks and weeks, and I've been out maybe once a week to do the shopping, if that really. Yeah, I don't think I've been out any more than that. And so really, that was that. Also, yeah, one thing also I was going to speak about YouTube. One thing I found with YouTube recently, and I think it's because of the COVID, because YouTube did put a message on for creators, sent us like a newsletter with a message in saying that their staff, a lot of their staff are quarantining themselves and stuff like that. But one thing I've noticed is that my videos aren't getting so many views, and I don't know if that's because I'm putting out rubbish videos or that you don't always click and see them. And the reason is because I follow somebody. The reason I'm thinking that is because I follow somebody and they put up a video and I started watching it, and then, I don't know, Grumpy spoke to me or something, I don't know, the laptop, iPad shut down and that. And when I went back to it, I was like, huh? I was watching that. It didn't even show up on her list of things, on her videos. It didn't show up in my, you know, where you have a feed, your subscription feed. It didn't show up in there. And when I typed in the thingy, the name, it didn't show up. It just showed up on the homepage. No, not on the homepage, on the, God, can't think. History, on the history page that I'd already watched it. So that was really weird. That was so weird. She hasn't, like, because now it's on her page like a few days later and it's there. So there's obviously some sort of glitch with YouTube there. So I don't know if that's happening on mine. I don't know. So or people have just got different, you know, different things on their minds now, like making bread and stuff like that, because that's a big thing now, isn't it, making bread? I've been making bread for years. Now, you can't get bread maker for level money. Yet, last year, you could buy bread makers every day at the charity shops. And now, they're as scarce as I don't know what. But, yes, I make bread. It's usually when I've like, I always, when I do my shopping, buy a loaf, two fresh loaves, and I freeze one, and I've always done that. And I do same with milk, buy fresh milk and freeze, and buy more fresh milk and I freeze it. When I run out of the bread and I haven't been to the shop, and I'm not planning on going to the shop, I always just make bread and make rolls and things mainly it's for Russ's lunchbox. But it's so funny to find there's no bread makers, and bread making is like an in-fashion thing to do. How cool is that? Because flour is really hard to get hold of here in the UK as well now. Is there anything you can't get hold of? Eggs, unless you're like me and you live in the country, we can get eggs because lots of people have eggs and they sell them on their doorsteps. So, you know, we can get eggs, okay. And we can get flour better because the pubs and the cafes are still having their usual deliveries and they're bagging them up and selling them on. So that's been good as well. And that's also helping the local cafes and that to still try and stay afloat somehow, at least to pay their rent. I mean, it's just awful. And then, as you know, I get some funny comments on my videos, and I hope you can all understand me, because I know I have, when I'm outside, I do talk quieter, because we have a house at the back and a house next door, so I do talk quieter. And I've also got like a real Somerset accent, and I know that that's hard for some people to understand some of it. Recently, I've had this person, she's viewed my videos for years and years, and on one of them, she put, "I've been watching you for years. In this video, you say about a new pram." She like always watches my videos about prams as well, and you said you've got a new pram. Well, I've watched this video twice, and there's no new pram. Unsubscribing. I watched a video, you know, obviously I went back and watched it. There's no such thing as a pram. I never mentioned a new pram. I think I'm out for a walk. I think it's one where I'm out for a walk with the Land Rover eye candy. But I never once say the words new pram, ever. So it's very, so I was just wondering if like, she's a foreign lady as well. So I wonder if it's like getting lost in translation, or if sometimes you just can't understand what I'm saying. You should hear me when I've had some glasses of cider, then I get real Somerset. And when I'm really relaxed, I get quite Somerset as well. And teaching used to be quite funny because people would always say, Miss, you're talking Somerset now. So it definitely used to come out. And if I used to teach like as a visiting lecturer, people always knew where I'd come from as I started speaking. It's really funny. So she commented on that one, and then she commented on another one, and I can't remember what it was, but I was going to tell you because it was just something that I was just like, well, it was baffling to me. She'd commented 2 things on 2 videos. Oh, I wish I'd write these things down. No, can't access those memory cells. I don't think they've woken up yet. Oh yeah, I got something else to paint. My middle daughter sent me a fairy to paint. She's made of, it's not a stone, but I don't think it is. It's not plaster of Paris, which is what I would have always used when I was a kid. It was a funny white clear like marble. It was really hard to paint on, and really what I should have done is sandpapered it first so the paint stuck to it better. But anyway, it's painted okay, and I'll show you some photos here. So it painted up okay. There are things, she wants me to do her one. There are things like I'd want to get some glitter paint and stuff like that to do it differently. Anyway, she sent me that, and I painted that for my little garden, my little quarantine fairy. And look what I found. Toy Story. Toy Story figures to paint. They come with a paint set, and they even show you how to mix it. See, they show you how to make different colours down here. I thought that was a really, really good idea to like give you the paints and show you which ones to add to make the colours that are different, that they don't include. That was $5.99 from the range. One day I went shopping to Sainsburys, to the bigger superstore, because there are certain things at the little stores that I'd run out of that I can't get. So, like bicarbonate of soda and stuff like that, I can't get that everywhere. Corn flour, can't get that everywhere. And those are like my stock staples that I keep in my cupboards, and so I'd run out of those, so I wanted to go to a bigger store to get it, things like that. And so I went to this bigger Sainsbury's, and next to it is a range. Well, across from it, next to it is the Mothercare that had closed down, that you've seen me go to before. The Hobbycraft that was due to open but hasn't opened. And well, across from it is a range, and the range sells food, and it is stayed open. It only sells a little bit of food, so I don't know how it can stay open. Anyway, so I went in there, and that's where I picked up a few bits for Frankie and this painting stuff. And they do these like chili sauces, things that Russ likes, so that's the reason why I went in there, because he'd run out of his chili sauces. And they do all these, I don't know, they're in like squeezy bottles, and he likes them, and so I wanted to go and restock that in the fridge as well, so that's why I went in there. And that's when I saw that, so I'm in the queue, and I picked that up. And those few bits there for Frankie, like a pencil case and stuff like that. So, but other than that, other than going out for food, I have not been out. So I got a little shop up the road that I went to the post office early on. I haven't posted. I have, actually, that's a lie. I posted 2 things. So I posted Captain Tom Moore, a birthday card. So I don't know if you've heard of anything about this man in England called Captain Tom Moore, who's raised nearly £30 million by walking 100 laps of his garden before his 100th birthday. So he did that before he was 100. He's 99. And he's an old soldier. So in his regiment suit with his medals and using a walking frame at 99 years old, he did this. And he wanted to raise, I think it was £1,000, and his daughter put it on Facebook to see if they could encourage people. He's raised 30 million for the NHS, for our National Health Service. £30 million. So he turned 30 on 30. He turned 100 on the 30th. And so people wanted to send him cards. So they had a special post office number that you could send them to. He has had thousands of cards sent to him. He's been made a colonel now by the Queen. And so I did actually go out to post that on Tuesday. That's what it was. On Tuesday, I had to go for a blood test, have a little bit of a lump that I had to have a look at on the back of my neck. And that is actually a lump of psoriasis. So if you're thinking, oh my God, Caroline cut her hair. Yes, my hair has been cut off because my psoriasis on my head is back. My head felt like it was on fire. And so I had to have it shaved off. And of course, nobody could do it but me and Russ. So I had to use his razor to shave my own head, to get my hair off, because the psoriasis is back. If you watched like a couple of years ago, from 3 years ago, I had pneumonia. And ever since then, my body has just had a hideous autoimmune disease. And I'm getting a bit warm now because the sun's coming in the window. And I had autoimmune disease, and ever since, apart from having fibro in that, but I have inverted psoriasis and psoriasis on my head, which left me with alopecia spots. So I had to have my haircut because my head felt like it was on fire. Oh, and it was feeling like that again, like last week. I said to Russ, my hair's gone on too long now. I think I'm going to have it cut because there's no air getting to my scalp. And so, yeah, on Tuesday I had to go to the doctor. So I went to the doctor's. I posted 2 postcards, 2 cards, 1 postcard, 1 card. And yeah, so I went to the doctor's and had that. It's just psoriasis, but you can't see the back of your head, can you? So it's been a lump there for about 5 weeks. So I just had it looked at, and yeah, it is a lump of psoriasis. So had my head shaved. Don't like it, but has to be done. Has to be done because it felt like it was on fire. So yeah, that's the only other reason I went out, is to do some posts. And right at the start of the lockdown, I had to get a massive load of shopping in for Russ's workers because they were doing double shifts. So, oh, I know, that was it. This is what the lady also put. Oh, you haven't moved yet. I can't see. This isn't your new house. You're a liar. You're a liar. Like, do you know why we haven't moved? And anybody who watches my videos regularly and watches the whole things will hear me say things in them. The reason we haven't moved is because we weren't planning on moving anyway until just before Christmas, because we're having work done on the bungalow. Yes, we do have a bungalow. We bought the bungalow 18 months ago. We've had a tenant in there since last February. And she was meant to move out the end of March. Well, no one will move her because of COVID. No one will move her. So she's staying April. So I don't know. We wanted her to leave because our builder is ready to work. We have the builder to work. And so I don't really know now what's happening on, and I get a little bit annoyed and upset because, you know, I want the bungalow to have the work done, but I also don't want to put the woman in or anybody else in harm's way. It's not, she does have somewhere to go, but she just couldn't get any movers to move her. So I think what we're doing is I think it's what Russ and I was talking about, but he'll make decisions about it because he knows it stresses me out, is that maybe the builder can start the work on the grounds, like build the garage, get the garage, the footings and all that put in for the garage, while she's there, and she pays a reduced rent. Maybe. I don't know. Or we can find builders. We got a builder, you know, and he needs to work as well. Do you know what I mean? If we can't get our builder to start work for us, and that would be, I think it's 8 months work for him, of course he's going to go somewhere else and look for it, isn't he? So that has been a bit stressful, and it's stressful for her, and stressful for Russ because he gets stressed from me. Poor bloke. So we are actually, you know, we do have our bungalow. We do want to move to our bungalow, but there's no way we can move yet. It's got to have work done to it first. So I don't fib in my videos, okay? Maybe it's just translation, or you don't hear it, or you don't watch all of the videos, so you don't really catch up on everything that is going on properly. All right? So yeah, so that's that. I hope you're all safe. I hope you're all well as you can be. Just stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here if you're still here. Cheers. Hello to everybody who's watched. Goodbye. Thanks for being here. Keep safe.